All right, all right. Well, I've had my A1 for quite a while, a few months at least now, and and like everybody else, I did my test prints, put it together, did my test prints, and all that good stuff, and it's been doing great, right? But I finally got around to dealing with the poop. I guess that's one of the first things everybody's doing. And there are a ton of, the poop chutes or trays or buckets or whatever you want to call them. There's tons of them on MakerWorld, right? And a lot of them are really similar. It's just a matter of preference. And I looked at it and I thought it was okay because actually, had an A1 Mini first, and we printed off a big, I guess this one you can call a big bucket, the poop bucket, and it works great. Don't get me wrong. I forget which one this is and who to give credit to, but you'll see it on MakerWorld also, and you'll probably recognize it. But it works great. It's just freaking huge, right? And it cracks me up because when we're looking at these things, sure, this is a Mini, here's the A1, the first bed slinger and all that stuff, but when you start adding all the stuff to it, the AMS light, ideally I would want to mount it on top, but everybody's, kind of iffy on that. They've been shown how it can rock back and forth. So if it sits on the side and then you put this huge bucket, poop bucket or whatever, the footprint on this thing could be just absolutely huge. When you compare the size over to the P1, one of the P1S's or the P1Ps even, any of these, it has the enclosure, the AMS you can stack on top, and the only thing you have to get clearance for is, behind it, where you have your power supply, you put a poop chute back there, you have your external spool in the rear, but everything is right here, right? So with the A1, yeah, you have AMS on the side and all that good stuff. It takes up quite a bit of room. So I wanted to make something that was not going to be entirely huge, right? Because with this A1, I don't have the AMS light on it. I just plan on using one spool at a time for now, anyway. Who knows? But I'm going to do just one filament, one spool, and so I'm not dealing with a lot of poop on this thing. It's and I wanted to control it, instead of having this big, bucket with a big backdrop and all that stuff to catch the shooting poop. I wanted to control it at the head, right? I wanted, when it shoots it off, I want to control it at that point so that it would drop down into a tray. That way it won't be just gigantic. Will it be a one-piece job? Will it be 2 pieces? That was up for grabs. But, well, let me show you what I came up with. So you can see here, I have this little fixture, and it's blocking the poop. And so far, it has been dropping straight down into this tray. You can see a couple of the filaments there, one of the poops, and this one actually stuck to the piece. Oh, there it went. And there's just, I think 4, yeah, there's only like 4 pieces in there. So I haven't done any really, really long-term tests on it, but so far it's been working pretty good. And you can see it's not as huge and obtrusive as that joker, right? That one does work good though, don't get me wrong. But with this one, it looks a little more compact. And this was my first version. And you can see I was trying to, have these generous fillets or rounds on it to kind of match the style of this whole thing, right? You have the big fillets on it and, curved edges, stuff like that. But yeah, you can see it's kind of hard to print that way. Alright, so here it is in Fusion 360, and you can see it's a pretty simple part to model up, and I can backtrack and show you real quick what I did. Of course, the first feature here, that was just the slot to slide on. There's the backing. And there's the first curve, that's the top curved part. And yeah, just modeled it right there with the sketch. And so I was planning on doing a revolve to get that smooth edge. So I just created this, the axis on this edge right there. You can barely see it. And that is what I used to do this revolve, and it was just a 90-degree. Pretty simple. And that turned out pretty good. Let's suppress that. And the rest of it I was just sealing off. You can see I'm just sealing off that other side. And that was it. Pretty simple model. But you can see the results were less than desirable. It's just that round, because you can see the way it prints down, and it's so hard to get a good clean print on that bottom curve, right? Yeah, and you can see even when you slice it there at the bottom, and that's where it's really tough to get a good smooth print that way. So of course I decided to switch from this and go over to the angled version. So you switch over and you can see seems like there's a few more steps, but it was just as easy. You can see it just almost identical features there. There's the first angle. There's the second angle. Now you can see this construction plane. There's the plane I used to cover the gap there. And I just made it, off of these two edges. Made the, so I can get a good sketching plane. Covered that up, and then, and then cleaned it up. And I just, cut that away. So we'd have a good, just a good clean edge, and blocked off the sides. And this one I added rounds on the sharp edges, and that was it. And you can see when you're getting ready to slice it, it's just a good, clean, simple model. Doesn't need any support, and that was it. Yeah, so you can see I nixed the curves and replaced them with the angles, just so that when you plop it down, it prints very easily. You can see where this slides over. Let's see if I can, yeah. So it just slides over the unit there, and it is a pretty tight fit. So it doesn't vibrate off or anything. And originally I was going to make it so that there would be some magnets on it, but with a tight fit like that, there was no need. On this tray back here, yeah. Now I did design it. You can see here's the one with the big backdrop, and on both of them I put provisions for magnets. And yeah, so you can see it's not a strong magnetic attraction, but enough to keep it on there. And because these magnets are on both sides, and it's just really the mounting bolts or screws, whatever. There's one here on each side, and that's what it's attracting to. Everything else over here, no, wouldn't do it. So, and of course you can do with or without. This one's without the magnets, and it fits fine. And off the few prints that I did off of this, it didn't budge an inch. It's not really gonna force its way out. But the provisions are there. If you want to use the magnets, great. I'll put the links to the magnets. The size and the link is probably an Amazon link, but they'll be there. So yeah, so that was it. Just a real simple design, but so far it's working pretty good. Yeah, so far it looks like it's working pretty good. It's just a real simple setup, nice and clean, and I will have these on MakerWorld. And I'll probably have the 3 models. I'll have this piece, I'll have the low-level tray, and I'll have the tray with the higher back on it, just in case you need it. You have the option there. Because I don't deal with a lot of poop on this. Like I said, it's just a single spool that I'm using, and usually when I first start to print, it feeds through and it just gives a one-shot poop out of there, and that's it. And so far a couple of them have actually stuck to this side, but they've all just dropped straight down. So, well, they're there. So I guess that's it for this video. So as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video.